The Lotus Exige, Elise, and Evora are gone. Discontinued. All three will be replaced by one. This is the Emira. Lotus will now focus its attentions on an all-electric future, but before the switch, the company has unfinished business, and the Emira represents their last ever sports car to be powered by petrol. So here it is, Lotus's next generation. It's very striking. In terms of dimensions, it's probably closer to a Porsche 911 than a Porsche Boxster. And if you recognize the design, that's because it borrows very heavily from the Evija, Lotus's forthcoming all-electric hypercar. It's incredibly athletic with lots of flowing surfaces and sharp lines. And the front is pure Evija with a sharp leading edge and these air curtains on either side that channel air into the brakes and also into the wheel arches to help reduce pressure. You also have these vertical headlights and probably the best element for me of all, these cutout sections on the bonnet which not only look cool but help to channel air over the surface of the car. The profile is another definite highlight. These doors aren't butterfly or dihedral, they open normally, but the sculpting is suitably dramatic with lines that make the car almost appear shrink-wrapped. But elsewhere, the use of an internal combustion engine means Lotus couldn't completely follow the design themes found on the all-electric Evija. Around the back, it unfortunately doesn't have the huge cutout sections you get in the Evija, just these smaller units on the left and right hand side. But that's no big deal. We can't have the entry-level car showing up the flagship. There's lots of other really interesting detail back here though, including this really fluid rear bumper, these flat C-shaped LED light clusters connected by a high-level LED brake light, and on the lower half, a glossy black section with twin exhausts on either side of the number plate holder and a lower diffuser to help improve downforce. On the whole, this is a very, very impressive package which combines many of the elements you might expect from a supercar or even a hypercar, but for sports car money. When the Emira launches in spring 2022, it will have a starting price of under £60,000. There will be a choice of two engines for this car. When it launches, it will come with a familiar 3.5-litre supercharged V6 from the Exige and the Evora. That engine will make 360 horsepower and will be good for 0 to 62 in under 4.5 seconds with a top speed of 180 miles an hour. As for transmissions, you'll have a choice of either manual or automatic. However, from summer 2022, thanks to a technical partnership with AMG, the Emira will come with a 2-litre inline turbocharged engine from the A45. That engine will make 400 horsepower and will be even quicker than the V6. Obviously, it will have to be mounted transversely and all the power will be sent to the rear wheels where it belongs. That AMG engine will develop 400 horsepower, which the eagle-eyed amongst you will note is 20 horsepower less than the unit in the A45S. But the Emira has a target weight of 1,405 kilograms in its lightest form, which should allow for a 0 to 62 time of less than 4.5 seconds and a top speed of 180 miles an hour. Now that we're settled in, let me show you the interior. It's lovely in here. Lotuses have historically been quite, how can I put this, sparse, but this feels upmarket, it feels contemporary, it feels almost luxurious. I really like this dashboard, which has a combination of leather at the top, Alcantara in the middle, and on the center console, there's even a bit of chrome effect contrasting with some glossy black plastic. As for the controls, well, they feel really nice as well. You've got this Alcantara steering wheel, which is flat-bottomed and flat-topped with some extra controls on the left and right-hand side, a high-level gear shifter, and also some metallic effect left and right flappy paddles for changing gear. As for the driving position, well, that's not quite been finalized just yet. I would expect a little bit more support from these electrically operated sports seats, but the headroom is absolutely fine and should improve for the final model. Plus there's lots of shoulder room in this car. It doesn't feel too cramped, and the view outside of the cockpit is absolutely wonderful. I can see exactly where the edges of the car are, which should help you to place this car on the road and on the track. It's full of useful tech too. There's a 12.3-inch driver display and a 10.25-inch centrally mounted touchscreen with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay as standard. It has keyless go, cruise control, rain sensing wipers, and lane departure warning, so it could be quite usable day to day even if the boot is only 151 litres. This is a fascinating development. We've waited years for a new Lotus to come along, and after a few false dawns, we finally have it. And it's a big one. Let's not forget, this car effectively replaces three icons. The Exige, the Evora, and the Elise are no more. This is also Lotus's last ever car to feature an internal combustion engine. So expectations are sky high. Will it be Lotus's most accomplished car ever? Well, only time will tell. The Emira launches in spring 2022. Stay tuned.